Hey, welcome to the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute with your host, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest, Alan Bishop. Hey, this channel is all about home distilling and legal distilling. If you've got questions, reach out to us in the comments below, social media, or via bishopshomegrown@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out thealchemistcabinet.com. Hey, what's up, guys? Back with the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, here to answer all your questions about the art of home and professional distilling. So, excuse me, just got home from work and trying to keep from falling asleep, so it's time to do some videos because I've got stuff to do yet in the garden and the cellar and just general stuff that I have to do. So hey, if you guys haven't heard it, if you're interested in the paranormal at all, not only do I have the If You Have Ghosts You Have Everything podcast, but Kimberly and I, who often is my co-host and obviously is my wife, just got done doing the AI Appalachian Intelligence podcast. I love the AI podcast. And we did 2 hours and 5 minutes, including some stories from my farm back here behind me, and distilling and spirituality. And I think you guys might really enjoy it. So check out the AI podcast when you get a chance to. So today I got something really cool to show you guys. So my buddy Catching Bait, some of you guys might be familiar with Catching Bait from some of the various different forums on Facebook, etc. down in Florida. We started talking last year about the possibility of him building some Dona Jugs because he's been doing a little bit of copper work here and there. And unfortunately, a hurricane came through, and he had a really hard time with that. It wiped out his house, etc. And so just recently, last week, he's like, hey, man, I got some Dona Jugs I'm going to send your way to sell. So he's made two different styles of them. And for those of you that don't know what a Dona Jug is, if you're at all interested in the art of yeast propagation and keeping your own yeast strains going, I've done some great videos here on the channel about yeast propagation. I've talked about it a lot on Distillers Talk, etc. But the basic original premise of yeast propagation and the basic premise of a distiller all throughout the 1800s, there was no title called master distiller. It was yeast maker and distiller because your primary job was to keep the yeast strain going. The yeast strain was super important to the quality of your whiskey and or your brandy or whatever other product that you were making, and it brought a lot of characteristics to that whiskey or that brandy that were specific to your house style. So the distiller would oftentimes carry a Dona Jug. He would often have two of them. Now later with industrialization, they went to larger size Dona tubs, etc. There's still a few places out there using that on a large scale. At my distillery, we use Dona Jugs. That's just what we do. That's the way we do it. I can kick off 1,200 gallons of fermentation with 3 gallons of yeast. So what you do is after you've captured a good yeast strain, you get it going, you have to keep it going every day. And if you keep it as a liquid culture, what you do is you use your Dona Jug. After you pitch your yeast, you get your mash up and going, then you collect some of that mash or wash back out, put it into your Dona Jug, and then basically let it get fermenting for, roughly 24 hours, long enough to start dropping pH and drop about a third of the sugar from the fermentation out of it. And then you're going to want to get it good and cold and cut it off from air so that way that the yeast can go dormant. Or you use it when you do your next pitch. So if you're going to wait for more than 24 hours, put it into the refrigerator. Less than 24 hours, not that big of a deal. You just pitch it next day, refill it the next day, etc. Keep the cycle going, right? This is what the old time distillers used to do. And they had two Dona Jugs at all times. They had one Dona Jug that they treated just like a lunchbox. They took it to and from work with them every day with the active yeast strain in it. And when they got home, they would take it and they would put it down in the cold water of their spring house so that they could preserve the yeast overnight until the next morning. The second Dona Jug, they would often have a drain cock on, and they would close that. They'd get the stuff cold in a spring house or something like that. Close that drain cock down while it's getting cold. Let everything go dormant. Then they put it on a chain and drop it down into a well or lake or somewhere like that. So if you ever lost the yeast or you had a fire or something of that nature, you could pull this Dona Jug back out of the well or the lake, etc., and you'd have your yeast strain back up and going. So the traditional style Dona Jug that Catching Bait's making is like this right here. Good solid construction. It's not real super duty, heavy duty copper. It doesn't have to be. You just got to make sure that you let this stuff get cold before you close this drain cock, because you will build pressure on it, and there's always a possibility you could blow some seams. You shouldn't, but you could. Things do happen from time to time. This is similar to the two traditional Dona Jugs that I use personally. Not necessarily what I use at work anymore because unfortunately I had the I've had some workers over the years that didn't take great care of my copper equipment. Let's just say it that way. So I stopped using the copper Dona jugs at work and started using some stainless steel Dona jugs because I didn't want my copper all messed up. But beautiful little Dona jug. I'd say it's about a gallon or so. I mean, this right here, that's going to kick off anything you're ever going to ferment at home for sure. It's going to kick off a 50-gallon barrel. And the way that you'd use it, essentially, other than the storage we talked about, is you would fill this up initially the first time. Then when you pitch your yeast, you know, after 24 hours, you're going to dump about 3/4 of this into your fermenter, save a quarter back, and then fill it back up with fresh mash and let it get going again. Again, once it gets going, get it good and cold, let that yeast fall out of suspension, and then close the strain cock down and put it in the refrigerator. So the second one, and this is a really cool idea in my opinion. I've never seen one like this. I take that back. I have seen one like this. A thing that wasn't really a Dona jug, but I made it into a Dona jug. I'll dig it out and try to show you guys that at some point in time. But I've never seen an actual commercial Dona jug like this, and I thought it was cool. So check this out. Same basic body design, right? Handle and all that stuff. But it's got this silicone bung there with the airlock in it. So you do all the same things with this that you can with this over here. The difference is you don't got to worry about blowing this one up, right? Because it's got a way for air to escape. So now the yeast in this one in the fridge may or may not last as long. What I would suggest is on this airlock putting some high proof ethanol in there instead of some water, so nothing can get in or out of it, and it should last every bit just as long as yeast stored in the other one. Both of them I think are a gallon or so roughly. I forgot to ask him how much, you know, volume that they contain or carry, but kind of if you want to really be a practical distiller in the 1800s style, or a true self-sufficient distiller, this is one of those pieces of equipment that you need in your arsenal, right? I'm keeping one of these two, by the way, buying it more specifically. So these things are going to be going for $125 each plus shipping, whatever the shipping is, at least $125. That's where it's going to start at, but $125 is the price that I have. I don't know how they're going to be sold. I don't know if we're going to sell them through our store at thealchemistcabinet.com, the warehouse, or if we are just going to be talking about them and sending you guys the catching bait to actually buy them. But definitely something that you're going to want, and something I think that you're going to need, especially to be more and more self-sufficient. So yes, I do dry a lot of my yeast nowadays, but when I'm using an active strain that I use regularly, it's in a Dona jug. And my wife gets rather tired of it being in the refrigerator, but it is what it is, right? Now, the cool thing about these is something this size, more than enough to take care of anything I'm going to do on a home scale, and fits in the refrigerator a whole lot easier and with less potential damage to the refrigerator than one of my 3-gallon Dona jugs. And the 3-gallon Dona jugs are made out of hardcore plate copper, so hell, they weigh damn near 30 pounds without anything in them. So you can imagine what they weigh with liquid in them. It kind of sucks toting those things around. So I love these things, man. Catching Bait did a great job. All done in the old Appalachian soldered up style, you know, silver solder, the whole thing. Everything's all soldered together the way a still would be. And man, I'm gonna have to get with him about making cones, because, you know, I like working copper a little bit too. I don't have enough time or enough money as far as buying copper to do as much of it as I like to, but I always mess up the cone, and I need help with that. Jason Wade Harrell from 13 Stills helped me with that a little bit too. I'm gonna touch base with both of them and see if I can't figure out how to actually make a cone the proper way. Anyways, guys, as always, if you have any questions, reach out to me in the YouTube comments below, via social media, via bishopshomegrown@gmail.com, and check out thealchemistcabinet.com and support us there by buying our DVDs, our books, etc. Books, new copies of the books are on their way in right now. We talked to Amazon. For some reason, they're super slow right now getting our books out to us. As soon as they come in, we'll get the ones signed that are sold and sent back out to you guys. So, all right, y'all. Love you. Later.